What's up, guys? This is Sean Swank. Welcome to Confidence Community. Today's subject that we're going to cover is opening lines, what a lot of people call openers. You got to have a whole can filled with openers. I don't necessarily prescribe to having a whole thing of openers in order to open a group or a set or whatever you want to call it, or just talking to a girl. I basically prescribe to the idea of you guys just starting to talk to people in general. You can say basically anything as an opener. I want that to sink in for a moment. You can basically say anything as an opener. You know what? I was watching the Smurfs movie today, and it reminded me of when I was a kid, how much my sister would actually sit up and watch the Smurfs, and I would have to watch it with her. And the insane part about it is, didn't the Smurfs have a cereal? For some reason I remember eating Smurf cereal watching the Smurfs as a kid. Isn't that insane? Have you had an experience like that where you sing something that reminds you of something as a kid? That's an opener. I'll say that to anyone. I'll say that to Oprah, dude. Like, I don't care. Like, the problem with people not being comfortable with openers has nothing to do with the line that's being said. It has more to do with you not being secure in who you are as an individual, where you think you don't even qualify to open that person. Dude, I'll open anyone. I'll say anything to anyone on any subject, because if you think about it, you lose all the titles, you lose all the classism, you take away from the environment that the person live in and that you live in, and guess what they are? They're people just like you. No matter how rich they are, no matter how tall they are, no matter how good looking they are, no matter whatever's going on with them, they still put on their pants one leg at a time. So I want you to keep that in mind so you can get comfortable with creating fun openers and things that show your personality or show that you're silly. For example, I was at a bar here in Chicago. An amazing woman walked by me. Well, she wasn't walking by me, she was walking towards me. And because I was standing there with solid body language, I was dressed very well. Everybody else had on t-shirts and jeans. I had just come from a business meeting, had on a suit, tie was undone a little bit. I took off my jacket so she could see a bit of my muscle definition. Well, not her, but just people in general. So that's me grandstanding. So she's walking up and she's looking at me. I see her looking at me. So I turned my head and waited for her to walk by. And when she got close, I looked her in her eyes. I looked her up and down. And she stood right in front of me, and I was like, wow, those are some big feet. What did she do? She laughed. She punched me in my arm jokingly. We stayed there. We talked. I bought her a beer. She bought me a beer. We had a good night. So what did I do? I didn't have a canned opener that I was going to say to that girl. And there's nothing wrong with canned openers. For you guys that are beginners, you probably want to get a couple things under your belt that you're going to use constantly. A simple one. Hi, my name is Sean. Works every time. Even if a girl is rude and you stick out your hand to do an introduction, you can say something like, wow, that is what a rude person is like, huh? And then smile at her. Guess what that's going to do? That's going to prompt a smile from her. You got to understand, man, like, don't get so emotional when a person isn't showing you direct attention, or when a person isn't responding well to whatever you're doing. Just come with a different tactic. This is a chess match, man. It's not checkers. You got to pay attention to the game and then make your proper move. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. Just always do what you have to do to make sure the king is protected. And the king is your heart. And the king is who you are as an individual. And make sure that is solid and protected at all times. So, we're going to put a whole bunch of canned lines that you guys can use as openers for practice. But I only want you guys to use that stuff when you can't think of anything to say as an opener for some strange reason. Maybe the girl's captivating, you can't think of anything. Pull some out your pocket, use it. And I want you to use that stuff as practice until you start to develop your own, I don't even like to say lines, man, because I think lines are corny, but there are words that you can use as a vehicle to communicate a successful interaction between you and a woman. That's what you want to do. You want to be solid on that. So you can go up to a girl and be like, do your feet itch sometimes when you're wearing like sandals? Because sometimes my feet itch when I'm wearing sandals. Do you get that too? As weird as that may sound, guess what, man? She may say, hell yeah, I get it all the time. Or she may laugh and she may look at you and say, oh, just give her a smile, man. It's okay to joke with the girl. They're human beings. They fart just like you do, and they smell worse. Confidence community, holla at your boy.